Georgi destroyed Darcey Silva. Georgi stole $1 million. Arrests second wife revealed. 90-day fiancé. Hello friends, I am Elena. Welcome to my channel. For the latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. The story of Georgi Rusev and Darcey Silva has taken yet another shocking turn, shaking the 90-day fiancé world. Fans who once believed that Darcey and Georgi could overcome their roller coaster relationship are now left speechless as explosive allegations surface. Reports claim that Georgi not only betrayed Darcey on the deepest emotional level but also financially devastated her. The scandal involves accusations that Georgi stole a staggering $1 million, faced an arrest, and now, to make matters worse, has been linked to another woman, allegedly his second wife. What was once framed as a chaotic but somewhat romantic storyline has spiraled into chaos, with Darcey once again left humiliated in the public eye. Darcey Silva, star of 90-Day Fiancé, before the 90 Days and her own spin-off Darcey and Stacey, has always been open about her struggles with love, heartbreak, and trust. She has been known for chasing love across borders and for falling hard and fast. Her relationship with Georgi was one of the most talked-about arcs of the franchise. From the very beginning, the pair showed signs of instability. Arguments, jealousy, and miscommunication defined their relationship. Yet Darcey seemed to believe Georgi was the one, despite constant red flags. Now, those red flags look more like warning sirens, as new revelations suggest Georgi was not just careless but calculating. The first bombshell centers around money. Darcey has always been open about her business ventures, cosmetic surgeries, and lifestyle choices. She has invested heavily in her fashion line, her appearances, and her overall brand. But sources claim Georgi found a way to exploit Darcey financially. Allegedly, he gained access to her accounts, her business funds, and even personal savings, siphoning off money over time. By the time Darcey realized what was happening, the missing funds added up to nearly $1 million. For a woman who has built her career around hustling and maintaining her image, this was nothing short of devastating. To lose that amount of money not only hurts her financially but tarnishes her credibility as a businesswoman. But the scandal did not end with financial betrayal. Reports surfaced that Georgi's actions finally caught up with him legally. Sources claim he was arrested in connection with fraud and theft. Whether or not all charges will stick remains to be seen, but the fact that authorities have gotten involved is telling. For Darcey, this meant a humiliating public fallout. She had defended Georgi many times against critics, insisting that he loved her and wanted a future with her. Now, she is forced to face the reality that the man she stood by may have been playing her all along. Fans of 90-Day Fiancé have been quick to react. Social media erupted with commentary, with many saying they saw this coming from miles away. Some argued that Georgi always gave off an opportunistic vibe, while others expressed sympathy for Darcey, acknowledging how much she has already endured in past relationships. Regardless of opinion, one fact is clear. This scandal has left an irreversible mark on Darcey's reputation and her personal life. Financial betrayal and arrest were not enough. The situation has escalated further with shocking claims about Georgi's personal life. It has now been alleged that Georgi had another woman all along, someone described as his second wife. While details remain murky, the whispers suggest that Georgi may have maintained another serious relationship or even a marriage while still entangled with Darcey. Proven true, this would not only explain his frequent evasions and distance but also solidify the idea that he never took Darcey seriously. For Darcey, who constantly sought reassurance that Georgi was committed, this revelation is like salt in an open wound. The news of a second wife has raised even more questions. Who is this woman? How long have they been involved? Did she know about Darcey, or was she also kept in the dark? Some fans speculate that Georgi may have been living a double life, using Darcey's fame and financial resources while maintaining another relationship behind the scenes. This creates a narrative not of a confused fiancé but of a man calculating enough to manipulate multiple women for his own gain. For Darcey, this represents yet another devastating chapter in her long and public quest for love. Her past relationships, including with Jessie Meester and Tom Brooks, ended in betrayal, heartbreak, and humiliation. Many thought Georgi might finally break that cycle, but instead it seems he has made it worse. The idea that she was not only deceived emotionally but also financially and legally entangled in Georgi's mess is more damaging than any breakup she has endured. The public nature of this scandal is also important to consider. Darcey has built her brand on her reality TV fame, which thrives on transparency, drama, and vulnerability. But now, the line between entertainment and real-life devastation has blurred. Having a partner accused of stealing $1 million, facing arrest, and possibly being secretly married creates a storm that is bigger than just gossip. It is a full-blown scandal that could affect her business, her family, and her career. Meanwhile, Georgi has remained largely silent. Some believe his silence is strategic, either because he is bound by legal constraints or because he does not want to further incriminate himself. Others think he may try to flip the narrative, painting himself as misunderstood or unfairly targeted. Regardless, his reputation is taking a massive hit, and any hopes of leveraging his 90-day fame into future opportunities may now be gone. For Darcey's fans, the question now is what comes next. Will she finally walk away from Georgi once and for all? Will she rebuild her finances, her trust, and her sense of self? Or will she once again find herself tangled in his web of excuses and half-truths? The painful truth is that Darcey has always had a soft spot for love, even when it hurts her. Whether she can finally break that cycle remains to be seen. What makes this scandal even more captivating is how it ties into the broader narrative of 90 Day Fiancé. The franchise has always thrived on messy, complicated love stories that push the boundaries of what viewers expect. But this situation is different. It involves legal trouble, money, and the possibility of bigamy. These are issues that extend far beyond reality TV drama. Fans are not just watching a breakup. They are witnessing the unraveling of reputations, finances, and possibly careers. In the end, the Georgi and Darcey saga has turned into one of the most explosive scandals the franchise has ever seen. Allegations of theft, arrest, and a secret second wife have left fans stunned and Darcey humiliated. What began as another whirlwind romance has collapsed into a scandal that could haunt them both for years to come. Darcey Silva may once again try to rise from the ashes, but this time the damage feels deeper, heavier, and more irreversible than ever before. The drama between Gino Palazzolo and Jasmine Pineda from 90 Day Fiancé has taken yet another shocking turn. What started as a whirlwind romance filled with passionate highs and emotional lows has now evolved into a full-blown public scandal, with allegations of marriage fraud, financial betrayal, and the release of damning receipts. Gino, known for his quiet and somewhat awkward demeanor, has now taken center stage by allegedly producing receipts that expose Jasmine's manipulative tactics. In a bold move, Gino is not only calling Jasmine out for fraud but also demanding that she pay him back more than $70,000, a sum he claims he spent on her during the course of their tumultuous relationship. For years, fans watched Gino and Jasmine's story unfold across multiple seasons of the franchise. Jasmine, the fiery Panamanian beauty, captivated viewers with her bold personality and unapologetic demands. Gino, the Michigan-born engineer, often appeared meek, desperate to hold on to Jasmine despite her fiery outbursts, jealousy, and relentless requests for financial support. Viewers were often divided. Some saw Jasmine as a woman in love who simply wanted to feel secure, while others believed she was exploiting Gino's desperation for companionship. Now, in what seems like the climax of their rocky journey, Gino has shifted the narrative by going public with claims that Jasmine used him solely for financial gain and the opportunity to secure a green card. According to Gino, he has accumulated receipts proving that Jasmine was never sincere in her intentions. He accuses her of orchestrating a long-term plan to extract money, gifts, and financial favors while working her way into the United States. The receipts, as Gino claims, detail a shocking history of expenses that he willingly but naively covered for Jasmine. These include luxury hair extensions, cosmetic procedures, high-end clothing, vacations, rent assistance, visa fees, and countless cash transfers. Fans of the show already knew Gino had spent thousands on Jasmine, as he often admitted to sending her money before they even met in person. However, the alleged receipts he has now presented paint an even bigger picture of financial strain, with totals adding up to more than $70,000. For someone like Gino, who is not a millionaire and has lived a modest lifestyle, this figure is staggering. Gino's accusations go beyond just money. He claims Jasmine intentionally misled him into believing in their future together, all while knowing that she had no real intention of building a long-term marriage. Term marriage fraud has now entered the conversation, with Gino hinting that he may involve authorities if necessary. In U.S. immigration law, marriage fraud is a serious accusation, referring to situations where one party enters into marriage solely to gain legal residency without genuine emotional intent. If Gino pursues this claim formally, it could have devastating consequences for Jasmine, including deportation and a permanent ban from entering the United States. Jasmine, for her part, has not remained silent. While she has yet to directly address all of Gino's recent claims, she has historically denied using him for money. She has often insisted that she loved Gino despite his quirks, mistakes, and lack of flashiness compared to her exes. But critics argue that her constant demands for financial help, her emotional meltdowns over material issues, and her willingness to prioritize money over stability point to a different reality. In many episodes, Jasmine's frustration stemmed not from emotional incompatibility but from dissatisfaction with what Gino could provide. That narrative now aligns disturbingly with Gino's newly shared evidence. Fans on social media have quickly taken sides. Some rally behind Gino, praising him for finally standing up for himself after years of humiliation and ridicule. They see him as a man who was manipulated by a younger, beautiful woman who knew how to exploit his loneliness. Others, however, accuse Gino of hypocrisy, suggesting that he willingly participated in the financial arrangement and only turned against Jasmine after realizing he could not control her or secure her loyalty. In their eyes, Gino is not entirely a victim but rather a man who tried to buy love and is now suffering the predictable consequences. The demand for $70,000 has become the biggest headline. Gino is reportedly insisting that Jasmine reimburse him for what he calls fraudulent expenses tied to their marriage. Legal experts have already weighed in, noting that while it is difficult to force repayment in such situations, especially when gifts are involved, Gino may have a case if he can prove fraud. If Jasmine knowingly entered into the marriage under false pretenses, then Gino could potentially pursue damages. However, proving intent is notoriously difficult, and the burden of proof lies heavily on Gino's shoulders. Beyond the legal and financial disputes, this situation underscores a larger issue that many 90-day fiancé couples face: the blurry line between love and transaction. The show has long highlighted the cultural and financial imbalances in international relationships. Jasmine and Gino's case seems to be the most extreme example, with love and money so tightly intertwined that it is almost impossible to separate one from the other. If Gino's allegations are true, this could mark one of the most dramatic downfalls in 90-day fiancé history. It would not only tarnish Jasmine's reputation but also serve as a cautionary tale for future cast members and viewers. Many fans have already labeled Jasmine as a manipulator, and Gino's receipts, if verified, will only cement that image. Till there are unanswered questions. Did Gino knowingly continue spending on Jasmine despite red flags because he hoped money would secure her loyalty? Did Jasmine ever truly love him but grow resentful of his inability to provide the lifestyle she wanted? Or was the entire relationship a calculated act of fraud from the very beginning? As of now, the battle between Gino and Jasmine is far from over. If Gino formally takes legal action, this saga could move beyond reality TV drama into a courtroom, with real consequences for both parties. For Jasmine, the stakes are extraordinarily high, not just financially but legally and personally. For Gino, this is about reclaiming his dignity and ensuring he is no longer seen as a man who allowed himself to be humiliated and drained by someone he trusted. Fans continue to follow every development, eagerly awaiting Jasmine's next response. Whether she issues a fiery denial, presents her own receipts, or chooses silence, the damage to their relationship seems irreversible. The dream that began with love across borders has collapsed into accusations of fraud, betrayal, and a $70,000 demand. The saga of Gino and Jasmine reminds viewers that behind the entertainment of reality television are real lives, real money, and real consequences. What was once a love story celebrated by TLC has now become a scandal that could define both of their futures. Long after the cameras stop rolling, the 90-Day Fiancé universe thrives on big dreams, high expectations, and financial clashes, but the latest drama between Luke and Madeleine has set fans buzzing. In a shocking revelation, Luke has admitted that he cannot afford Madeleine's dream wedding. Instead of planning a lavish celebration that she has envisioned for years, Luke confessed to being in serious debt, leaving their future hanging in the balance. Truth has shattered Madeleine's plans for a fairy tale beginning, exposing the painful realities of financial instability in a relationship already built on fragile ground. From the very beginning, Luke and Madeleine's storyline has been marked by cultural differences, contrasting goals, and heated arguments about money. While Madeleine had her heart set on an extravagant wedding, complete with designer gowns, a high-profile venue, and a guest list packed with family and friends, Luke had been quietly hiding his financial truth. Fans initially assumed his hesitation about wedding expenses came from being overly cautious, but now the truth is out. Luke is in debt and unable to cover even the basics of the ceremony she desires. This revelation came as a crushing blow to Madeleine, who has never been shy about her expectations. In her mind, marriage is not just about signing papers. It's a milestone that deserves glamour, attention, and respect. She had painted a clear picture of what she wanted: a luxury hotel venue, a dress that would make her feel like a queen, and a party that would impress her family. When Luke finally broke down and revealed his financial situation, she was left in shock. She had assumed he was well off enough to meet her dreams, but instead she learned he is drowning in credit card debt and overdue bills. For Luke, admitting the truth was not easy. He had built up a facade of stability to keep Madeleine happy. However, the pressure grew unbearable. He explained that years of overspending, bad financial decisions, and unexpected emergencies had left him with little savings and a mountain of debt. His paychecks barely cover his monthly expenses, let alone the costs of a wedding that could easily run into tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, Luke admitted that even affording the K-1 visa process and immigration-related costs had stretched him thin, and he has been living paycheck to paycheck ever since. Fans were quick to notice that Luke's honesty, while necessary, may have come too late. Madeleine has repeatedly stated that she expects stability and security in marriage. To her, a partner should be financially capable of providing for her and their future. Luke's confession directly clashed with those expectations, raising questions about whether their relationship can even survive such a fundamental disagreement. For many viewers, this isn't just about a wedding, it's about the deeper issue of financial trust. The debate among fans is heated. Some argue that Madeleine is being unrealistic, expecting a luxury wedding without considering Luke's financial limitations. They point out that many couples on 90-Day Fiancé struggle with money, and true love should not depend on lavish displays of wealth. According to these fans, Madeleine should adjust her expectations, scale down the wedding, and focus on building a strong foundation with Luke. After all, debt can be temporary, but marriage is supposed to be forever. On the other hand, critics of Luke say that he misled Madeleine by not being upfront about his financial struggles sooner. They argue that hiding such an important truth until the last minute shows poor judgment and lack of transparency. If Luke had been honest earlier, Madeleine could have adjusted her plans or at least prepared herself for the reality. Instead, she feels blindsided, betrayed, and frustrated, which could create long-lasting resentment in their relationship. Adding another layer to the drama is Luke's family, who have their own concerns about his financial situation. They worry that marrying Madeleine while already in debt will only worsen his struggles. Some family members reportedly fear that Madeleine's high expectations will push Luke deeper into financial trouble, especially if she continues to demand luxuries that he simply cannot afford. From their perspective, the timing of this wedding could not be worse. Meanwhile, Madeleine has been vocal about not wanting to settle for a courthouse wedding or a small backyard event. To her, a wedding is not just for the couple, it is a statement to her family and community. She has expressed frustration that her friends back home had beautiful weddings, and she refuses to feel embarrassed or disappointed on what she believes should be the most important day of her life. Her insistence on grandeur is clashing head-on with Luke's financial reality, creating a standoff with no easy resolution in sight. What makes this storyline even more compelling is that it highlights a recurring theme in 90 Day Fiancé, the collision between dreams and reality. Many couples enter the process with visions of a glamorous future, but the harsh truth of financial limitations often bursts that bubble. Luke and Madeleine's situation is a perfect example. She dreams big, but he is unable to deliver. The result is tension, heartbreak, and a potential deal-breaker for their relationship. As the drama unfolds, fans are left wondering what options the couple really has. One possibility is scaling down the wedding drastically, focusing only on immediate family and essential elements. Another is postponing the wedding until Luke can get his finances under control, though this option is risky due to visa restrictions and deadlines. A third option, borrowing money, would only deepen Luke's debt, creating even more long-term stress. None of these choices are ideal, which makes the couple's next move even more uncertain. For now, Luke insists that he is determined to fix his financial situation, even if it means disappointing Madeleine in the short term. He wants her to understand that his debt is not permanent and that with hard work and discipline, he can eventually provide her with the life she wants. However, whether Madeleine is willing to wait and compromise remains the biggest question. Her track record on the show suggests she has little patience for half measures or lowered expectations. The latest revelation has left fans divided but undeniably hooked. Some see Luke as a man who made mistakes but is trying to take responsibility. Others see Madeleine as a woman who deserves honesty and stability but must learn to compromise. Clash between them represents a larger debate in relationships. Should love conquer financial struggles, or do finances reveal incompatibility that cannot be ignored? What is certain is that this storyline has become one of the most talked about arcs in the current season of 90 Day Fiancé. Viewers are tuning in not just to see whether Luke and Madeleine make it down the aisle, but to watch how they navigate one of the toughest challenges any couple can face: money. Will Luke's debt destroy their relationship, or will they find a way to compromise and build a future together? The answer remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: the dream wedding Madeleine imagined may never become a reality. The 90 Day Fiancé franchise has been no stranger to drama, tears, and raw human stories that go far beyond simple relationship struggles. Over the years, viewers have watched couples from all over the world navigate cultural barriers, distance, family conflicts, and heartbreak. But now, in a deeply emotional turn of events, Liz Woods, best known for her tumultuous relationship with franchise veteran Big Ed Brown, has revealed a personal battle that stunned fans and castmates alike. In the new season, Liz opens up about her ongoing health struggles, bravely sharing that she has been facing concerns related to ovarian cancer. Her revelation has become one of the most powerful and important storylines in recent 90 Day Fiancé history, not because of the usual romantic scandals or explosive fights, but because Liz is using her platform to spread life-saving awareness about ovarian cancer, a disease that affects thousands of women every year but is often overlooked in mainstream conversations. This marks a turning point for the show, as it transitions from mere entertainment into a medium that could genuinely impact lives through advocacy and education. Liz Woods first captured the public's attention as the younger fiancé of Big Ed Brown, a controversial and polarizing figure in the franchise. Their relationship was heavily documented, filled with breakups, reconciliations, and never-ending debates about whether love or dysfunction was at the center of their union. While fans debated her decisions and criticized her for returning to Ed after countless arguments, few could deny that Liz carried herself with grace under immense public scrutiny. But now, away from the noise of her love life, Liz's story takes on a much more personal tone. According to previews from the upcoming season, Liz reveals that she had been experiencing unexplained health issues, symptoms she initially brushed off as stress-related or simply a part of everyday life. However, her concerns grew when the symptoms persisted and worsened. After medical consultations, Liz was warned of possible ovarian complications, including the looming fear of ovarian cancer. By opening up on camera, Liz not only exposed her own vulnerability but also decided to take her journey as an opportunity to educate others. She stated that too many women ignore or dismiss early signs of ovarian problems until it's too late, and she didn't want anyone else to suffer in silence. Ovarian cancer is often dubbed the silent killer because its symptoms are subtle and easily mistaken for less serious conditions. Bloating, abdominal pain, frequent urination, and changes in appetite are often brushed off as digestive or hormonal issues. Unfortunately, this means that ovarian cancer is often diagnosed in its later stages, making treatment far more challenging. Liz Woods, in her Raw confession, emphasizes this very point. She notes that while she had experienced bloating, pelvic pain, and fatigue, she attributed it to her busy filming schedule, motherhood stress, and emotional exhaustion from her relationship with Big Ed. It wasn't until medical professionals encouraged her to take it seriously that she realized the severity of what she was facing. By speaking about it on a platform as large as 90 Day Fiancé, Liz is pushing ovarian cancer awareness into the spotlight. Fans who may have ignored their own symptoms might now be encouraged to get checked, and loved ones of those at risk might become more proactive in recognizing early warning signs. For Liz, the revelation wasn't just about her physical health, it carried immense emotional weight. Facing the possibility of ovarian cancer forced her to confront fears of mortality, her role as a mother, and her future. She admitted in her confessional that the thought of leaving her daughter without a mother was her greatest nightmare. This season portrays Liz breaking down in tears, confessing that she was terrified not just for herself but for the people who depend on her. She explained that her daughter is her world, and the possibility of being taken away from her too soon was unbearable. While the cameras captured her raw emotions, fans responded with overwhelming support, flooding social media with messages of encouragement, prayers, and admiration for her bravery. Of course, no Liz storyline could be complete without the presence of Big Ed. Known for his controversial personality, Ed surprisingly steps into a more compassionate role in this chapter. While their relationship has been criticized for its toxicity, this health scare seems to shift his priorities. Ed is seen attending doctor's visits with Liz, holding her hand through moments of fear, and promising to stand by her no matter what. Though viewers have long doubted the authenticity of Ed's love, this storyline gives fans a different perspective, showing him in a rare, vulnerable state. For once, the attention isn't on Ed's antics but rather on Liz's well-being, and Ed is depicted as someone trying to be a supportive partner rather than the center of drama. However, not all fans are convinced. Some skeptics online believe Ed may be using Liz's struggles for sympathy and relevance on the show. Regardless of opinions, one thing is undeniable. Liz's story is resonating with viewers far beyond the usual relationship drama. One of the most powerful moments in the upcoming season is Liz directly addressing the audience, urging women to take their health seriously. She emphasizes that ovarian cancer can happen to anyone and that no symptom should be ignored, no matter how small or insignificant it seems. Liz says that if even one woman watching the show decides to schedule a doctor's appointment after hearing her story, she will feel her battle wasn't in vain. She stresses that prevention, early detection, and open conversations are the keys to saving lives. Her message is echoed across social media platforms where fans have shared personal stories of losing loved ones to ovarian cancer or battling it themselves. Many are praising Liz for using her reality TV fame in such a constructive and meaningful way. 90 Day Fiancé has often been dismissed as trash TV, criticized for exploiting personal struggles for entertainment value. But Liz's storyline has injected a new level of depth into the show. For once, the drama is not about petty jealousy, cultural misunderstandings, or explosive family fights. It's about life and death, awareness, and resilience. TLC has reportedly partnered with organizations focused on ovarian cancer awareness to provide resources at the end of the episodes featuring Liz's journey. This move highlights the network's recognition of the importance of using its platform responsibly. By showcasing Liz's story, 90 Day Fiancé is shifting into a more socially responsible space, where reality TV not only entertains but also educates and raises awareness about critical issues. Filled with supportive comments, viewers are rallying behind Liz, praising her courage and sending love during her difficult time. Some fans admitted that they never cared much for Liz in previous seasons because of her constant back and forth with Ed, but now they see her in a completely different light. Others shared that Liz's story inspired them to book a long overdue side of the show. Liz has already started collaborating with ovarian cancer awareness groups. She has been using her Instagram page to share educational posts, survivor stories, and information about early detection. She has also participated in charity events aimed at raising funds for research and patient support. Her efforts extend beyond television, showing that her advocacy is not just a storyline but a genuine passion. Liz has stated that she wants to dedicate herself to ensuring women everywhere have access to the information and healthcare they need to fight ovarian cancer effectively. Liz Wood's health battle is reshaping the way fans see her and the franchise. What once seemed like just another relationship-driven reality show has now become a platform for awareness, education, and hope. By opening up about her fears, symptoms, and medical journey, Liz is helping to break the silence around ovarian cancer and empowering women to take control of their health. Her bravery in the face of such a terrifying possibility is inspiring, and her decision to share her story publicly could save countless lives. Whether or not viewers have supported her choices in the past, there is no denying that Liz Woods has stepped into a new role. One of advocate, survivor, and role model. This season of 90 Day Fiancé will be remembered not for explosive drama or shocking betrayals, but for the moment Liz Woods used her